Okay, so I'm working with my new microphone. The other company sent me a replacement part, and I have had two replacement parts now, and it still hasn't worked. So just got a $20 one, and I don't know if it's working right now or not. The light is not on. What if I press the power? The amount of time I have spent trying to make technology work for this is just crazy pants. Okay, so if it's working, it's working. If it's not, it's not. Okay, so I don't know if you can see what's going on here. That is their feed pan full of grain. That's how they get fed every few days. And today, even though they were supposed to be fed in the morning, that didn't happen. And then the people who live on the land saw that I got here and they rushed down and they fed while I was pulling up. So then we had this big conflict where the cows are eating their grain, but the cows are trying to come over and eat the donkey's grain. And the donkeys are really interested in their grain bowl, which of course they would. They're still interested in doing targets for me, actually, which is really cool. But we had to, what I did was I used the target to get them to come in here. I moved their grain in here because the cows were pushing them off of their grain, and it was turning into this whole fight, and they were kicking, and it was the whole thing. So I didn't get to film it, but it was really cool that I was able to use the target as like a recall in a way. Normally they'll just follow me, but they were so stuck in trying to protect their grain, but the cows were coming and they were really stressed out. So it was really cool that I could use the target to say like, look, just follow this. We'll come in here. I move the grain for them and they should get to eat. Like they're not required to work with me. They haven't eaten in a few days. But they're still willing to do this for what I have. And I think that's probably because it's A, I have something different from what they get to eat always, and B, this is very, very trained at this point. They've been doing it for over a year now, so they were really in it. I was also able, before the cows got involved, to do a few pick up your feet sessions with Cookie, and I'm noticing that she is massively better with her front right hoof than she is with her front left. We're nowhere, I don't think asking her to pick up her rear feet is possible just given how they are shaped right now. But I thought it was really cool that even though there's this whole bucket of grain that they're trying to eat and all this stuff is going on, that they were amenable to trying to transport and train. So I thought that was really cool. And so even though there's this huge, huge feed pan full of grain right there, they are still doing a little bit with me. I'm going to chalk this up for not a loss because we got some stuff done and I was able to help them get to a place where they feel safe enough to eat, and get them away from the cows without anybody getting injured or in danger. But as far as training goals go today, a little different. A few picking up your hooves, that was cool, but probably not going to be able to get much with Annabelle. She's really, really worried about eating, and I get that for sure. But I do want to note I feel so much more comfortable and happy out here than I did at the other place. So, gonna have to contemplate why that is, um, and kind of work through that. So, not the most interesting video today, and I didn't get any of this on tape, or I guess video, since tape isn't a thing anymore. But a cool report on how to use a target to help the donkeys move and do better and get to a place where they could actually eat instead of being frustrated and upset by the cows, and the cows straight up running them off the grain and it turning into this whole fight. And they were kind of redirecting onto each other instead of fighting the cows. And I just kind of thought that was a little bit interesting too. So hopefully the microphone's working, just kind of a test on all this and a bit of a verbal report on how today went.